So you move up to the bar.
Yeah. You smack your face into the bar. Hey, friend.
Did it, but it was not very smooth.
And I'm going to use my bardic knowledge to do the things that bardic knowledge does, which is pretty much everything in terms of gathering new information.
Magic.
Well, you can find out random stuff.
Unless you're plus your perform, usually.
Bardic knowledge? No. Bardic knowledge is
Knowledge.
a D20 roll plus your bard level, I believe.
Bardic knowledge, int mod plus bard level.
Or int mod, yeah.
So that's 2 plus 2, so 23.
Okay.
-2 carry.
You, based on bardic knowledge, you know that 8 Silos was once a very distinguished place for farming goods from the kingdom.
Thus.
You know, lots of your basic workforce there was farmers and the support staff needed for farming.
Hence the name. Is there any place to get supplies around here?
You're gonna try to strike up a conversation with the man?
Yep.
The man basically says that you know, everybody has left that that has a brain. I'm too old to make a run for it. Siege is basically imminent. But he does suggest that your other option to leaving the city would be to go see the king, who's currently paying top dollar for any mercenaries.
Oh, you don't say.
I rolled a nat 20 for a knowledge nobility. Like, just what do I know about this guy?
The king would normally not be here. He would be in the actual capital if the war wasn't going on.
This was the capital taken.
Magic.
The capital is in the far west.
Okay.
Not on our map.
It looks beautiful.
I'll ask the old guy if the king's here, then what happened to the capital.
The capital fell early. Some say it was subterfuge. Some say it was just revolt. What you know is the king was very well liked by the masses.
Okay.
He looked like the worst superhero in the world. Like Pube Man.
Beautiful.
He looked warm. Tickle your face.
It's so red.
It's so warm in there.
Ugh.
Drogondahl gets a drink, at least one.
So you're gonna ask for a drink.
Yep.
Says, ale's a fine commodity currently in the city. It's a gold piece.
Yeah, he's cool with it.
Okay.
One gold.
He
He
doesn't care.
kind of, as he turns
One
around,
mug.
he kind of grumbles and he's I'll go see what I can find.
He's not happy about giving away the ale for any amount of money.
Yeah.
What a rip-off. One gold piece for...
He's got needs, man.
Yeah.
Drogondahl's got needs. Perhaps there's need of a court bard.
I don't think so, since he doesn't have a capital.
What are the benefits?
Doesn't really have a port right now.
Logic doesn't apply to Tomadryl. It's just, this man needs me.
I'm needed.
Yep. To the keep.
Alright,
To the keep.
I'm on my way. There, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're all
As
done.
you guys exit the tavern, you'll bump into Jory, just for simplicity's sake, who's made it back from the gate.
We're roving band.
You make your way up the road, and it's fairly obvious, just given the amount of guards, that there's a large household with a courtyard in front
gotta be what the king's
that the
saying.
king is obviously using as his base of operations. As you pass through the outer gates into the courtyard, 2 soldiers step out and just ask why you're here.
We're just looking for some work. We heard
We'd
the
like
king.
to seek counsel.
I heard your king is in need of a court bard. I have come to say his need. Exactly what I say to him. And we get shot. They have cannons.
Get a sword to your throat.
The senior of the 2 guards says the king is always looking for some good mercenaries, but we'll let him decide. We'll escort you there.
Okay, cool.
And you start heading across the courtyard. Give me just a general walking order. It doesn't have to be perfect. It can be double file.
I'm up front.
I will be rear guard. Oh yeah.
He's
right
gonna
in
be
front
in
of
the
Kevin so
middle.
you can guard
You
my
need to
rear.
be kind
Put
of.
guy up front.
back
I don't want
Jorgen's
to
still
want him near
sleeping.
me. He stole the mug. He just,
Yep.
You paid a gold piece for a fucking ale. You could take the mug.
Right? Told you that was a
You just
ripoff.
got 100 of them. That's 100 ales.
There. Good enough. But they're going
He
this way.
measures his wealth and how much ale he can drink.
Yep.
You didn't know that.
Well, normally
As you walk through the courtyard,
Showered in arrows. and
who's
he'll die.
around there? I choose you, Mark's cleric. A man was kind of standing off to the edge of the courtyard, walks up to you and reaches for your hand and says, "Surely one powerful enough to meet the king has coin to spare for a lowly citizen trying to flee east. Please, I beg of you, I only need a few coins to get basic provisions for the journey for my family and myself." And he holds out his hand.
Sure, I'll give him 3 coins.
Damn. 3 gold? Really?
Yep. I'm a traveler. I don't care.
Can I overhear?
I
Or
mean-
listen.
Well, you're like right next to me, so I would hope you hear.
Yeah.
Where's it,
do
clerk?
it.
Where am I?
I roll
I'm
11.
here.
As you give him the coins, he his eyes get really big, and he thanks you. He's bowing and he steps back and heads for the exit from the.
You just impressed a god, probably.
You should have gave him like 3 copper. God.
How much you give him? 3?
3
How many
gold.
3 gold.
Oh,
I
okay.
mean, we did get
That's
100 gold.
that's a shitload of money.
Yeah.
It is.
As we pass the tavern on the way out,
It's like more money than he makes in a year.
I hope I see him drunk. Oh, that'd be great. We got 3 whole ales.
I'm saying is, like, I'm one of these people
And the
that-
guards continue. They continue. You were only delayed for a moment, so you just kind of stay. And as you're ushered into the house, and you enter kind of what was probably an entertaining space, but appears now to be kind of a wartime throne room. It's not a throne, it's just a wooden chair, sits a middle-aged man. He appears pretty downtrodden and concerned. He has a series of scars on his cheek. None of them are fresh, but they haven't fully healed either. And in his chair, he's not sitting in typical dress garb. He's in his armor. It's obviously a little bit battered from battle.
Go ahead and move me to the front.
And as you approach him, he greets you. He says, "Thank you for coming. Although our forces have battled valiantly, we lose ground every moment. Before winter, my army seemed to be drawn even with the forces of Lord Shackleton. We'd even gained ground in the fall. But as the forces dug in for winter, Shackleton's forces continued to push. They fought tirelessly and to the death. Our forces swore they were the undead, but that's ridiculous. They seemed to always be well supplied and ready to fight. As winter set in, our forces were ground down. We lost territory every day, and even as we moved in tactical retreat, they pushed us. To make what matters worse, the wicked races came down from the mountains in the south, raiding our towns, killing our civilians. I had no choice but to beg the people to flee the land to the east, in hopes they would make the port at Goldenwood Delta. I sent payment enough to ensure any who arrived would be able to flee, and set up safe haven with Lord Wrath and his realms. This is what I would ask of you. Take this writ east to Goldenwood Delta, find a ship, and deliver it to Lord Wrath. While he is a good soul, I fear he may not be prepared for so many refugees, and want to ensure he knows what's going on here and accepts my people."
I say that's nice and all, but I hear you need a court bard. Nice draw my loot.
He rolls his eyes.
Okay, so Ross is speaking for you guys.
Whoa.
I'll say, well,
Hey,
sure.
Yeah. No.
All right.
No.
His
Hey,
response to you, Ross.
Son of a...
Currently, my army's in tatters. Several squads of Royal Rangers are hampering the advance of Shackleton's main force, but they'll be here by the end of the week at the latest. I've sent my finest royal guards north, hoping they'll keep the northern roads open for any who have not yet escaped, but this will not last long. As you may or may not know, the city is not nearly so well defended as it appears. The royal mages have cast illusions upon these walls, and even now only a handful of squads still remain here with me. I will depart myself in 3 days for the east, but must remain here to give my people the best opportunities for survival. Thank the gods for the resistance that has popped up in the southwest hills, as it has kept the monsters in the south from destroying the garrison on the great east-west road from falling, which has allowed goods to continue to make their way here, but that too will only hold for so long. Okay. Also, I don't need a court bard.
Damn it!
Let's go.
Paladin's gonna introduce himself, saying,
I'm not gonna introduce nothing. I'll do it.
myself and the cleric are from. What did we decide on the name?
You had given it a name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lumea.
Yep.
And as you may or may not know, we are tasked with undead hunting.
We are specialized.
So if the rumors of undead are true, we want to help in that area.
We'll rid the lands from the evil.
While I appreciate the offer, I fear the masses that approach the it's not the castle, I'm sorry. That approach the city now are far too numerous for just a few to handle. Go now, as I must continue to discuss strategy to slow the Black Tide's advance. Feel free to stop down at the armory. Although most of its treasures have been emptied and sent east long ago, there may be something left that's worthwhile to a band of adventurers such as yourselves. As he's saying this, he pulls out a piece of parchment and scrawls something on it, and then seals it with his royal signet and hands it to you, Kevin. This ensures you can enter the vault upon your arrival. Show it to Samuel. He'll be in the main antechamber in the basement. He's far too hard-headed to have fled, and I pray he doesn't pay for this loyalty with his life. Now off with you. You have much to do and very little time to accomplish it. And the guards step out to escort you guys out.
I'm going to say as I'm being ushered, thank you, Your Highness. We appreciate this very much. And you must remember that Tomadryl, the lyrical miracle, accepts this gracious boon with honors. And
Please ignore him. Just don't listen to him right
he's
now.
flourishing my cloak as I'm going up,
Please
trying to
ignore.
play.
So thank you, Your Majesty, and
Ignore this bumbling idiot.
Throw me your pencil, Mark. You can have it back in just a second. I'm just gonna...
Good throw.
you just everybody start whipping pencils at him.
We've got two.
Before I leave, I'll say, may Heronius guard you or something like that.
It's pretty.
Oh, it's like a little flower.
You can keep
Take up pottery.
We found more pencils, so you can keep that one if you want.
Yeah, we have more pencils. You can keep that pencil.
If not, we'll just throw more at you.
Seriously, that could happen.
He's scrawling you a note.
Or Shackleton. That sounds kind of restrictive. I was gonna say.
Shackleton.
Shut up.
That's a
How you
whole.
like it.
All while he's saying that, that's all I can think of. Just a pun.